everyone, this is Yana Smakula, and thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm sharing a new-to-me way to color florals with Copic markers or any other alcohol markers. Now, this is nothing new, it's just new to me, but it's something that I have recently discovered as I was playing with my markers and as I was trying to come up with a fun way to color flowers. I also recently watched a video by Janette for Hero Arts about flick style coloring with pencils, and her video inspired me to try flicking with my Copic markers. So let me demonstrate quickly what I'm talking about. Here I have 3 Copic markers, a light, medium, and dark. The colors are RV00, RV34, and RV09. Being rather a beginner when it comes to coloring, I would have never picked these 3 colors together, as they are very far apart in terms of numbers. When I like to color, I pick colors that are closer together, or the numbers of these markers are closer together, and that helps me to blend them well. For example, 00, 02, and 04 would be the colors that I would reach for to create a gradual transition of color, and I would blend them the usual way. Lay down light color, add medium, add dark. Then go back to the light color and blend, add medium color, and again blend, and so on. So I would try to create as gradual color transition as possible, and that's a great way to color. Another way to color that's especially fun for florals is flicking the color. Here, the goal is not to actually blend anything, but rather have clearly visible strokes. And this is best achieved when the colors you are using are distinctly different. Here I've laid down the first color, the lightest. This color will be the highlight. Next, I'm flicking in my medium color, and I'm not blending the 2 colors at all with the lightest color. I don't go back at all. Next, I'm adding my darkest color, and again, I'm flicking it, covering part of the medium colored flicks. No blending is happening here at all. So 2 completely different ways to color with Copics. Both are wonderful ways, and both are used for different purposes and to color different images. Here I've stamped a beautiful floral image from a new stamp set by Altenew, Forever and Always, and I colored almost all of it. Now I saved 1 flower to show you on video how I colored it. So I already applied my lightest color, the RV00, and I just colored the entire flower in. This is just 1 layer of this color and no shading here. Next, I'm using my medium color, RV34, and going to start flicking where the petals need to be darker. So I'm adding shading to each petal. As I was coloring this, I did notice that it is best to let each layer of marker dry completely so that the flicks do not blend together, but rather remain crisp and sharp. I've also found that for me, it is easiest to flick in one direction. So instead of turning my hand, I'm rotating the image as I'm trying to color. Once I have my medium color flicked on, I can come in with the darkest color and flick it on as well. This coloring method worked really well for me for coloring these small flowers. The petals, especially those in the center of the flower, were so small, it would have been impossible to do proper blending, so I'm kind of happy I discovered this flicking technique. I used just 3 colors for my coloring today, but I can see myself using more colors, especially if the petals are a bit larger. This kind of coloring was also a bit inspired by Altenew layering images, layering florals. Some of their flower images have layers that mimic these flicks. Once my coloring was done, I added a horizontal scoring line to my background, avoiding the stamped area. I've been using this technique for several months now, and I'm still loving it. I'll link to a video that explains it in detail. This technique is a little bit heavy on the hand, especially if you score a bunch of backgrounds at once, but I think the end result is totally worth it. Next, I stamped and die cut handmade using the stamp and die from the Crafty Life stamp set. And I also stamped Create Happiness Today in black ink onto one of the scored sections of my background. I used my Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink for stamping the sentiment, as this is the kind of ink I use to stamp my flower outline, and I like my inks to match for projects like this. Finally, I trimmed my background to 4 by 5 1/4 inches, and I foam mounted it onto an A2 card base. I foam mounted the handmade die cut and also used clear droplets from Pretty Pink Posh to embellish this card. I wanted to keep it very simple and have the floral arrangement be the center of attention. Now, I did foam mount the handmade die cut over one of the colored flowers, the yellow one. I did that for a few reasons. First is I kind of wanted this cluster to have just 3 flowers. The 4th flower looked a little bit odd and it was distracting. Second reason, I didn't really like how I colored the yellow flower. My flicks were a little bit too big to my taste and it just didn't look right. And reason number 3, I couldn't find any better spot for this die cut. So it's as simple as that. I also created one more card using another floral cluster from the Forever and Always stamp set from Altenew. I did the exact same thing here in terms of stamping and coloring, but I wanted to show you my coloring process. I personally find clusters like these floral clusters, very difficult to color because when I first stamp them, they look very busy and quite frankly intimidating. So I break down my coloring process and I color these images in sections to make it easier. For this cluster, the leaves seemed like the easiest to color. So I picked YG93 and YG99 markers and colored the large rose leaves. Next, I colored long green leaves and started coloring some of the rose buds. So already this image seemed a bit more manageable and I could tell the flowers and leaves apart. Next, I brought in the light green YG00 and colored the other rose buds. I also used YG03 to flick medium color and YG67 to flick the darkest color. I moved on to coloring one of the flowers. Sometimes in a cluster, I have a hard time telling which petal goes to which flower, so I try to carefully color them and pay very close attention to each flower. I also often color all of the flowers using same color in case I mistake the petal from one flower to another. So this is just a simple trick. Finally, once all of my large roses were colored, I colored the remaining images using yellow. For my sentiment, I once again used the Crafty Life stamp set, and I stamped I love ink, paper, stamps, and you in black ink. I trimmed my panel and foam mounted onto a black card base for a lot of contrast. So this finishes my video. Be sure to visit my blog for a full list of supplies I used to make these cards. Thanks so much for watching. If you have questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't yet done so. If you are a subscriber but are not receiving new video notifications, check the bell icon on the homepage of my channel to get notified every time I publish a new video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!